So let's do a problem that's going to end up being something a little bit different. Let's consider that you have a radar operator, and your radar operator sees an airplane, so a small airplane up here, and you see the airplane, and you're looking at the airplane, and you notice that the airplane is a distance of 125 miles away. So this is vector A, and we're going to measure it at 35 degrees east and north. So vector A is the initial sighting of the aircraft on radar. So it's 125 miles at an angle of 35 degrees east of north. So this is, if you look at a compass, all compass headings measure clockwise from north. So another way of writing this is clockwise from north. So this is basically the compass heading. And then what happens is that half an hour later, so 30 minutes later, then you have vector B. And so at vector B, then you notice that the aircraft is now a distance of 67 miles away. Okay, so it's a distance of 67 miles away and is at an angle of 42 degrees. So this is going to be 67 miles at an angle 42 degrees east of north. So I want to know what was the heading, what was the velocity and the distance traveled of the aircraft between points A and point B. Okay, so this is point A, that's point B, and so I want to know what was the velocity and heading of the aircraft. Okay, so we look at it and we say, well, if I call this vector C, so we have vector A, we have vector B, and then we have vector C. And so I want to know what's the relationship here. Well, students always want to say A plus B equals C, except that's not right here. In this case, this is vector A right there, and then you do vector C, and the result is vector B. So A plus C equals B. But we don't know what C is, but we know how to do algebra. C is going to be B minus A. So all we have to do is subtract B minus A. So we need to find the components of B and A. Okay, so we can start with, for example, vector B. Okay, and so if you work that out, you should get 44.8 miles I plus 49.8 miles J. Vector A was 71.7 miles I plus 102.4 miles J. So B minus A, that's your vector C, is going to be minus 26.9 miles I minus 52.6 miles J. Using the Pythagorean theorem, magnitude of C comes out to be 59.0 miles. So it goes down 52.6, goes over here, and so that angle right there is going to be 27 degrees once you use the relationship that the arctangent of 26.9 miles divided by 52.6 miles. We could then say that vector C, which is what this thing was doing, was 59.0 miles, and it was going in a direction of 27 degrees west of south. So that is the displacement. Now I said that was 30 minutes, right? So if I want to know how fast was this moving, then what we would do is say, well, we normally think miles per hour, so I would divide by 1/2 hour. So the velocity would be 118 miles per hour at an angle of 27 degrees west of south. So that's the velocity of that aircraft. And so now we have an example of a problem that's vector subtraction. Now again, it's still vector addition. A plus C equals B, but then we have to do a little algebra and we find out to get C, we do vector subtraction. And so this is another example of a vector problem that you can do.